Welcome to today's edition of the Anaglyph Jukebox. You never know what you'll find on the old jukebox. Let's press B31. Okay, we've got Sheena, Queen of the Jungle 3D. If you don't already know, Sheena is a punk rocker by the Ramones' third album, Rocket to Russia, 1977. It's not your fault. It's a failure of the American public education system, one that has no respect for the classics. The Ramones' inspiration, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, was created way back in 1937. Sheena was the first female comic book character with her own title. She predates Superman by a year, Batman by 2, and Wonder Woman by 4 years. She was the first female character to title star in her own comic book, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, which ran for a decade, 1942 to 1952. This is in addition to appearances in 167 issues of Jumbo Comics, often cover featured. Here, Sheena in her prime fought hostile natives, crooked hunters, cavemen, serpent gods, lost races, lion men, voodoo cultists, devil queens, dinosaurs, and sabre-tooth tigers. She was often temporarily subdued, but always triumphant in the end. And unlike those pansy pretty boys, Superman and Batman, Sheena regularly killed her enemies, sometimes in horrific ways. Sheena's simplistic jungle world embodied many awful stereotypes typical of the time it was created. It did also represent a powerful woman in a field almost completely dominated by male superheroes. She used her skill and her strength, not her looks, to become Jungle Queen. She's the gender-switched Lady Tarzan, created by S.M. Jerry Iger and comics legend Will Eisner, while they were working together as the Eisner-Iger Shop. Eisner said the inspiration for the character's name was H. Rider Haggard's 1886 jungle goddess novel, She. They made up a name, W. Morgan Thomas, as Sheena's creator to disguise the fact that the firm had only 2 employees. Eisner was only involved for a short time. He left that shop to go solo and create his most famous character, the noir-inspired dead detective, the Spirit, in the 1940s. That was before he invented the graphic novel in the 1970s, by the way. The comic book shops of the late 1930s were mini factories that cheaply turned out comic book pages for other publishers. Jobs were broken down by categories: writer, penciler, letterer, inker. There might also be a figure inker and a background inker as well. Doing piecework like this sped up production, just like any assembly line. Sheena was drawn by some of the great artists of the era, like Bob Powell, Mort Meskin, Jack Kamen, and Matt Baker. Bob Powell created her trademark revealing leopard skin outfit. Don't tell anyone that I told you, but our Jungle Queen is actually Sheena Rivington, the daughter of Cardwell Rivington, who was exploring unknown Africa with his young daughter in tow, as one does. Sheena is orphaned when Popsy accidentally drinks a magic potion from Koba, a native witch doctor. The magic of this potion is, apparently, near instant death. Koba had intended the potion to cause his friend Cardwell to stay in the jungle, but I guess he's just a second-rate witch doctor? Koba, despite having killed her father with his mistake, decides it's a good idea to raise Sheena as his own and escape prosecution for murder. He teaches her the infamous ways of the jungle and also how to use a knife. As an adult, she can communicate with wild animals and has names for them all, speaks several native languages, and is considered the wild beauty of the Congo. Improbably, the wild beauty becomes the blonde queen of the jungle. There is no election or crowning ceremony. She also picks up a monkey sidekick named Chim, who understands short English sentences, like most wild, untrained monkeys can. Sometimes the Jungle Queen was saved not by jungle cunning or her knife, but by the rifle of her, quote, mate, unquote, a great white hunter named Bob Reynolds, or, after a second origin, Rick Thorne. Whatever Sheena and her mate Bob got up to between issues was the subject of lurid speculation by some. Sheena's success led to dozens of knock-off jungle girls, women and queens, flooding the newsstands. But only Sheena reigns as 3D Queen of the Jungle.